Welcome back, guys. So today I'm doing the 10 best baby faces in WWE history. Now the only rule for this is the majority of their WWE run they had to have been babyface. So not someone that had a fantastic short babyface run, but the rest of their career they were heel. That doesn't count. It has to be majority of their run was babyfaces. So in the comment section, let me know who's your favorite face in WWE history, and let's get straight into it. Number 10 is John Cena. Now, has there been a more polarizing figure in WWE history? Probably not. But if you really break it down, John Cena, since his rapid days when he got organically over, even though he got booed a lot of the times, there was still a majority of the fan base that absolutely cheered him. And if John Cena were to make a comeback now, he would get cheered, and that is the sign of a true babyface. When you can overcome those boos to get cheered more than you get booed. Number 9 is Hulk Hogan. Now, personally, I'm not a fan, but I have to admit, throughout most of the 80s, he was WWE's #1 babyface. He had the crowd behind him. When he slammed Andre the Giant, that was at the Pontiac Superdome or Silverdome, something like that. That crowd absolutely erupted. When he came through the crowd, when Real American hit, the crowd would absolutely erupt, and that is a sign that you are over as a babyface. Number 8 is Cody Rhodes. So this might have a little bit of recency bias to it, but I do think that Cody Rhodes is currently the biggest face in the company. When you have crowds booing The Rock for you, when you get The Rock to turn heel for you, you know you are doing something right. The Rock, the biggest Hollywood superstar in the world, and people boo him to get you into the main event. You know there's something special. Number 7 is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. He was just built to be a babyface. Everything from his entrance, to his moveset, to the way he carried himself, to his feud with Ric Flair. Everything about Ricky the Dragon Steamboat just shouted babyface, and it shouted really loudly. Ricky the Steamboat Dragon was the ultimate career babyface. Number 6, Bruno Sammartino. When you are WWE's or WWW, how many W's worth? I think I'm just joking, it's only 4. WWF, when you are their first babyface champion, you know the company has invested in you. When you beat Buddy Rogers for the championship and you are the one that the company straps a rocket to your back and you're champion for 7-8 years, you know you are the guy. And when you lose your championship and the crowd wants to riot, you know that you are the guy. He was so beloved in New York, and it was just a sign of what WWE was going to do in the future. Picked one guy and make him the guy. Number 5 is Mick Foley. Not just necessarily his in-ring work, but just everything he's done in his entire life. Mick Foley is the ultimate babyface. In his life, in wrestling, the ultimate babyface. My favorite moment of Mick Foley, he's just the most lovable character ever. But my favorite moment is when he was the commissioner and he asked Rocky something, and Rocky said, well, and he shouted, it doesn't matter. And he jumped out of the ring, took a victory lap and shouted, Foley, Foley. And the crowd absolutely ate it up. When he came to visit Vince McMahon and he introduced him to Mr. Socko, everything Mick Foley does is just so pure and so wholesome. Number 4 is Rey Mysterio, the ultimate underdog. Rey Mysterio got cheered no matter what, except for one very specific situation that we will get to a little bit later. But Rey Mysterio is just also one of those guys. He's just a career babyface. No matter what he does, the crowd's going to cheer him. Now, mostly that's down to him just being a good guy and down to his moveset, and people just rooting for the underdog. Number 3, very similar to Rey Mysterio, the moveset, the underdog, it's Daniel Bryan. And when you, not being in the Royal Rumble, you can get Rey Mysterio booed just for not being you, then you know you are a massive babyface. If you can get lifelong Rey Mysterio getting booed, then you know if you can hijack an entire show and you can have the crowd support force you into a main event, you know that you are the guy. Number 2 is Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now, was he ever truly a babyface? I don't know, but he got cheered like no one else. Go back to his return at Backlash. That is the loudest pop that I have ever heard, and I think I will ever hear. Stone Cold is just the guy. If he came back now against Cody Rhodes will get booed. No matter what, Stone Cold will get cheered. WWE tried to turn him heel. It just didn't work. The crowd just didn't want to boo Stone Cold Steve Austin. I never wanted to boo him. He's sitting right there on my, I don't know, no, I blanked out the background. Anyway, he sits right there behind me always. Stone Cold is just the guy. And number one, this is kind of an interesting juxtaposition to number two, is Bret Hart. Bret Hart was always that clean-cut babyface. Everything he did was just so purely for the wrestling of it. Everything he did was for the fans. He never played the politics game. He never did any of that. Everything he did was just for the purity of wrestling. Now, this was a massive debate for me, who's number one and who's number two, because they obviously had the whole thing where they had the double turn at Mania. But I do think that for the time, I do think Bret Hart was a cleaner cut babyface, and that's ultimately what led me to picking Bret Hart as number one. Guys, who's your favorite babyface of all time? Do let me know in the comment section. And until next time, hope you guys enjoyed it. Peace.